What's up? It's your boy Carson, and let's talk about the state of the game. Let's talk about some marathon. So they recently put out a patch yesterday. I wanted to go over the patch notes with you quick. Basically, they added the lockdown. So the lockdown on Dire Marsh, the intercept event on Perimeter, and the convoy on Outpost can now drop prestige salvage as part of their loot rewards, which is huge because of two things really. So I think Perimeter and Dire, well, not so much Dire, but really Perimeter, the loot just isn't worth, it's not worth going to Perimeter. Like, it's just not. I've actually for a while now have said that they should actually add some sort of in-game area for Perimeter, or some sort of in-game mechanic where they can, where a lot of the in-game players can, reach some of the higher tier loot, some of the outpost loot type. Everybody's kind of fighting for it. That way, it'd be cool to load up Perimeter sometimes. I know that's supposed to be the beginner map, but I think it'd be. At least now there is access to high tier loot, like the highest tier loot, in every map. So that is good. And the second thing is because the gold salvage for upgrades was very, very hard to get. The later upgrades in the upgrade trees, it's so hard to find alien alloy and stuff like that. So that's going to be good. So the armory, they fixed an issue where hurting hands apparently could be claimed for free more than once, which is, I don't know how much of an issue that really was, but still. So the carry armory, they increased quantity of salvage dropped from deluxe carry salvage crates across all rarities. They fixed an issue that caused carry weapons to not appear if that weapon was identical to a voucher offer the player currently possessed. Previously non-refreshing carry offers will now have their stocks reset weekly. As part of this change, the superior key template's stock will only reset up to 1. This does not affect this item's starting stock of 5 or any remaining stock above the weekly reset limit. Interesting. So here's where we kind of get into the good stuff, right? We got the combat. So this is, the community has wanted a grenade nerf for a while because of the crazy grenade spam and cryo and just kind of in high tier play in general. When you come across a looted team, there's just a bombardment of grenades, and it's like it's almost just crazy because even myself, I'll go to try to take an angle, and I just get. I mean, I've died to grenades before. This has only happened once, but I've died to grenades quicker than the OG waster. Like, it felt quicker than the OG waster with how quick I died one time to grenades. It was actually insane how many they were able. Either all three of them threw a grenade right at me and I just insta died. That could be the case. But still, nonetheless, the EMP, the Kim, the frag, the heat, the flechette, those grenades have all been reduced to 1. So the only things that stack to 2 would be the Claymore, right? So that's a nerf to rooks and sponsored kits that start with Claymores. But the only thing that stacks to 3 now would be proc sensors, smoke grenades, ammo crates, right? So and then we're going to move on to weapons here. The Strider, the Prestige Optic mod, now distinguishes between UESC and enemy runners. I guess there was an issue with the Strider. Basically, there was an issue where it wasn't appropriately telling you if there was an enemy runner nearby. But the Strider is now fixed. I actually think the Strider sort of slept on. User interface and experience. Fixed an issue where runner eliminations were incorrectly showing up on the player HUD. Yeah, I had a buddy who had that bug. Basically, we're able to tell when another team was fighting and when everybody was dead. It's kind of crazy. Contracts, tier 3 contracts have a chance to either enhanced or deluxe salvage. Now always display enhanced salvage as the baseline reward. Okay. Zones, cryo archive, added secure vents to prevent spawn rushing and cargo and index. Yeah, so this is something I've been talking about for a little bit. The ability to push only 2 spawns in cryo was kind of nutty. It basically led to, you'd be in your area trying to kill the first bots or just get your security clearance up, and you'd have a team just walk up on you through the vents, which felt bad because, it's like if you get spawned in one of those 2 areas, cargo or index, you got a shit spawn and everybody else got a better spawn because they can't be pushed, but you can be pushed. It just doesn't. That was either make it to where everybody can push everybody, or I think they decided to just kind of cut down on the quick early spawn kills. And then PS5, they fixed an issue where players were unable to join crew via platform invite. But so Marathon right now, I think, is in a sort of area where I think Bungie recently said that they were not giving up on Marathon, that Marathon was going nowhere, and that it will be around for years to come. I think they said that they have content for years planned, story for years planned. What I think happened with Marathon is that it's such a hard game that it's such a competitive game, and if you're not that kind of competitive PvP player, then I just think it's something that you might not be interested in, and I don't think it captured a whole lot of the player base when they tried the game because of how difficult and how brutal it can be. But I think what the issue is too is that people aren't giving it enough time. They're not playing enough of the game to understand the mechanics and understand the builds. And then the game is also kind of a game of knowledge. It's a game of like understanding the maps, understanding the rotates, understanding how to wrap on teams that maybe have you at a bad angle, understanding where the spawns are, understanding how which loot is going to give you the better edge, understanding where the good loot is. It's a lot of knowledge, right? And it's survival, right? It's survival. It's taking your fights with poise and with intelligence, right? That is Marathon. It is playing your cover, sometimes hugging your cover, sometimes going from cover to cover, sometimes weaving in and out of cover. It's very much so in the same way Apex Legends makes me fight, which is if I am putting out more damage than I am receiving, I am always trying to press the enemy, right? And if I am receiving more damage than I'm putting out, then I'm always trying to back up, heal, and take a new angle. And those are kind of the two pathways that I think you're forced into playing in this game, right? Unless your teammates are getting crazy sort of angles and crazy damage. Then if you get shit on, then I guess it doesn't matter if you push up if your teammates kind of carry that fight, which happens sometimes, sure. Or sometimes they're getting shit on and you're able to take a crazy angle and get like 2-0. I mean that's how the game is sometimes. But a lot of it is understanding when to heal, understanding weapon mechanics, understanding for a long time at the beginning, I think they can do a better job on distinguishing who's a player and who's a bot. At first, I I couldn't tell you how many times I thought a bot was a player. In fact, it happens sometimes still. If I'm really trying to, keep my head on a swivel and look, and there's a player. Oh no, it's a bot. Fuck. It happens still sometimes. So I think they could do a better job with the silhouettes, or I don't know, maybe something to sort of combat that a bit. But I think Marathon is actually a really, really good game, and it's actually just developed a sort of tight-knit niche community, and I think I'm cool with it, honestly. I think they could do things to make it more casual focused without it affecting the core game. I think if you do that though, you want to incorporate a mode that sort of doesn't it would need to push players towards playing the normal mode, right? Like I'm a big proponent of adding like an arena mode and a firing range. Like both of those things I think would be really good for the game. Something where I can just load in mindlessly and play like an Apex style arena. I think would be healthy for the game. I think it would create casual retention. And I also think it would be a way to practice and to warm up. And I think if you win a game, you get some loot, right? And the loot is like you can only use that loot in the extraction mode, right? I think maybe there are ways to do it, right? There are ways to do it. But that's going to be all for me today, and I hope you guys have a beautiful rest of your day. And please like and subscribe. Comment down below, what do you think? Where's the game at? Have you stopped playing? Let me know. Are you going to play for Season 2? Comment down below, like, please subscribe. I'm a very new YouTuber. I'm just trying to make videos on things that I enjoy, things that I'm passionate about. And I enjoy gaming. So if you like what I had to say, stop by next time. Take it easy.